Today we're going to be having a look at these. A set of 40 clear shadeless lights from Woolworths. Potentially one of the last incandescent sets of lights they ever sold. Going to open it up, see if they work, and have a little talk about them. So Woolworths, for anybody who doesn't know, was a very popular high street chain in the UK. They sold household goods, they sold music from the charts, the latest films in the later years, pots, pans, cutlery, plates, clothes, games, toys. They pretty much sold it all. And in 2008 they went into administration and they all closed their doors in 2009. One of the things that they were known for selling were Christmas lights. In the past they sold other makers' lights, like a lot of shops did. Then they had their own in-house brand, which was called Winfield, and then eventually they went to the Woolworths name. Now, I'm not sure what year these are, but they look pretty close to the era when they shut down. It's a very basic box, very basic packaging. Some of their more expensive lights had a little bit more of a premium look. They usually had a cellophane window that you could have a look inside, but there were lots of variations of lights. They usually had the price printed on them, but this doesn't have the price printed on it, so this was probably made as a way to just put the price on the label rather than having an RRP on the box, because that way if they needed to change it might have cost more in printing the packaging. So just a nice plain box, no frills, not much on the outside, everything's pretty much repeated. And on the back we've got our particulars. It tells you that they're indoor use, it tells you that they've got green cable. And I love to see this, a diagram of exactly what you're getting. Now, it doesn't say it's a loop set and this is a singular cable, but it does show that it goes in a straight line. Looks like you have a decent bit of cable from the plug to the first bulb. There's 40 of them and it gives you the exact measurements. 1.5 meters, or nearest making a difference, nearly 5 foot of spare cable from the plug to the first bulb. Almost 5 meters of length in the lights. And the whole thing is almost 6.5 meters long, so quite a good spread on these lights. Gives you the dimensions of the bulbs, instructions what to check for if the set fails. LED lights kind of eliminated all this kind of instruction and maintenance for lights, but I think it's something that some people either miss it or don't miss it. Some people probably appreciate LEDs for the lack of faffing about you got to do with them, but I'm guessing there's a lot of people who watch these videos on this channel who appreciate the good old days of finding a blown bulb or finding why the lights don't work. You test them before they go on the tree, they work, you put them on the tree, they don't work, and then it's the process of elimination. The good old days. There's your spare bulb code, J11, and I'm guessing this is the manufacturing date, 2006, so we're only 3 years off from when the shops closed. So this is probably the last iteration of incandescent lights that Woolworth ever produced. I'm guessing they probably made these with a different box in between now and when they shut, but again, I don't have a lot of information on the more modern lights. I mean, I call these modern, these are nearly 20 years old now, so they're getting onto the verge of vintage. Not really into super modern lights, but it's history, it's light history, it's interesting, they're incandescent and we like that. So let's open them up. These were listed as being brand new, so I've got high hopes. We've got an information booklet with a nice stain on it. So it's the same information that was on the box. It tells you about changing the plug, which is unusual, you don't really get that. 3 amp fuse, but we're going to change that. It tells you which wires to connect things to. Bulbs are completely standard 6 volt bulbs from 40 sets, which is great. There's your product number, 290L4160. And it shows you how to use the bulb removing tool, which we will demonstrate on this video. Here's our little spare bulb stash. We've got our tool, we've got our spare bulbs, we've got 1 fuse bulb and 3 plain clear bulbs. This bag is unopened, so I'm going to leave it as such. The bulbs, we'll go through the bulbs when we get the lights out. So here's our label. Nice big clear writing. You love to see it. we go. This is quite a delicate set of lights. It's not as thick and robust as they usually come. For example, here's another set of lights. I don't know whose makers they are. They could potentially be a Pifco set because they've got the ribbed bulb holders and they got nice big deep holders for shades. This was in the spares box. Now by comparison, this lighter green cable is substantially thicker than this more, I mean, it says it's green cable on the box, but it's more a black colour to me. So the cable is a thinner gauge, the bulb holders are substantially slimmer, and the bulbs are a lot smaller as well. So with these more modern lights in the late 90s and early 2000s, you started getting these little tools, little bulb extractor tool, and it's cupped inside, flat on the bottom, and you slide it in to get your bulb out like that. I'll show you up close again. So it slides in and then extracts your bulb. And the whole reason for that, I would suspect, is because some of these bulbs had a really tight fit, and the more that the manufacturing improved and the tighter tolerances they got, the more difficult they probably were, and the more difficult they are to remove is mainly to stop choking hazards, to stop animals and children taking them out and eating them. These bulb holders are quite interesting. They've got a split down here. They're a very narrow bulb holder, quite bespoke. So if one of the bulbs blows on this set, you most definitely probably have to use these same bulb bases. Oh, that's interesting. It's got an anti-base mechanism inside. Don't think I've ever seen that before. You see that? Got two little pins that stick out on the side that correspond with these splits here. So that means it's easier for getting the bulb in because you know which way the correct orientation is, but I think it's to stop you from using other people's bulbs as well. You have to use the specific bulb code that Woolworths provide, or you do a base swap like us. Our plug, it's not bad, it's on the lighter side. It's a very thin plastic. And I don't know if this is a logo or a symbol for something else, but it reminds me of something. Let's have a look inside. Thank you for all the feedback we've been getting in the comments section. People are liking us opening up the plugs to see what's inside. We have a little check of our cables, make sure they're all in place, and swapping out to the 1 amp fuses. A 3 amp is acceptable. That is a really tight fitting fuse. And it won't go to waste, it'll come in handy for something else. If anybody is interested in buying these 1 amp jade fuses, which we have broken open before to make sure that they are filled with sand, I must have got these at either a flash sale discount or they mispriced it when they were relisting it on eBay. But either way, got them cheap. They're up for, I think they're up for $16.99 for 100 at the moment, which I suppose isn't too bad if you consider, if you break it down to the pence cost per fuse. But the cheapest I have found these is on Amazon. So you can find these on Amazon. You can buy them in multiple batches. So if you're interested in these, go check out Amazon. I'm not affiliated with Amazon. I don't have any affiliate links. Just letting everybody know where they can get stuff. Right, let's check out our 40 Woolworths shadeless clear lights. And they give off a fantastic classic glow. Not bright, you can look at them without hurting your eyes. It's a very warm white. These look like they run not particularly cool. They're not mega bright. They are really nice to look at. Look at that. Fantastic. Absolutely perfect. Classic look. I am really impressed with these lights. Very impressed. They may be plain Jane, but they are classic incandescent lights. Great look. These would look great on a little tree with some red and gold ornaments or silver ornaments. Brilliant. Really happy with these. I'm glad I could share it with everybody. So there you have it. Our Woolworths 40 clear shadeless lights. Part of the budget range. Quite premium in my opinion. They're as good as you're going to get them. And I paid £4 posted for these, and I would say if these were coloured bulbs, I might have a look and see if I can find a coloured set, a matching coloured set. That'd be interesting to review, see what the colours are like later down the line. But I think because these run at such a cooler temperature, in my opinion, these are, yeah, they're not even that warm. They're very, very cool running lights, so they should last a long time. That's probably why the bulbs have never been pulled out. I mean, the seller listed them as new, but they've obviously been taken out the box for something. Grading on these later style lights was never that great in the first place. Again, really happy with these. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you all on the next one.